Hello everyone. In the last session, we have seen some introductory part of the coordination complexes, the what is meant by ligands, their types, then also the formation of the dative bond we have discussed. Okay, and in this session, we are going to discuss one of the important theory for the coordination complexes, the theory known as Werner's theory, which is given by the Alfred Werner, and he won the Nobel Prize in Chemistry in 1930 for proposing the octahedral configuration of the transition metal complexes. Okay, so by seeing for which reason he got the Nobel Prize, that is proposing the octahedral configuration of the transition metal complexes, we can see or we can understand the importance of the Werner's theory. Okay, so it created the strong foundation for the coordination complexes, which determines the geometry, which determine the configuration, the oxidation state determination, number of ligand, that is coordination number of the complex. All these aspects were covered with the help of the Werner's theory. Okay, and that's why the Alfred Werner is known as the father of coordination chemistry. So we will discuss the postulates of the Werner's theory. So first postulate, which is important one, actually it is the definition of the Werner's theory. So in the coordination complex, whatever the central metal we have, it exhibits the two types of the valencies. So first one is the primary valency and the secondary valency. So primary valencies are the ionizable one, and secondary valencies are non-ionizable. What is meant by ionizable and non-ionizable, we will discuss by seeing the determination of the primary and secondary valency for what. Okay, so primary valencies are corresponding to the oxidation state of the metal, so that's why they are ionizable, and those are satisfied by the negative ions, obviously. In concern with this secondary valencies, third postulates we are dealing. So secondary valencies are corresponding to the coordination number of the metal. So coordination number is nothing but the number of ligands. So that's why it is satisfied by the ligands. So every metal tend to satisfy the both valencies. This is the next postulate. And the fifth one, the secondary valencies are always directed towards the fixed position in this space. So it will give the birth to the stereoisomerism of the complexes. Okay. So secondary valencies are the directional one, while the primary valencies are the non-directional, because they are ionizable and they only reveal the oxidation state. And the combining power of metal is divided into two spheres of the attraction, so inner sphere and outer sphere. So inner sphere is also known as the coordination sphere, in which we have the central metal and ligands, and outer sphere is the ionizable sphere containing the counter ions, okay, which is responsible to calculate the uh, oxidation state of the metal. Okay, then yeah, so these are the postulates of the Werner's theory, and on the basis of this Werner's theory, one can reveal the different aspects of the coordination complex, which is the application of the Werner's theory. Okay, so another important aspect of this valencies is the difference between the primary valence and secondary valency. So primary valencies are the ionizable one, that is ionizable valency, it is also known as, while the secondary valency also called as the coordination valency. Regarding to nature, primary valency is illustrative one, while the secondary valency has the nature of coordinate, that is dative call in nature. Okay. Then primary valency is satisfied by the negative ions, that is anions, while the secondary valency is satisfied by the neutral molecules of the anions, so that is ligands. Primary valency is non-directional one, and secondary valence is directional one. That's why it gives the geometry. Okay, these are already, these aspects have been discussed in the postulates. Regarding to representation, primary valency written outside the square of the bracket. That's why I said it is related to the counter ions mostly, and secondary valency written always inside the bracket, that is within the coordination sphere. Okay, so primary valency overall determines the oxidation state of the metal, and secondary valency determines the coordination number as well as geometry of the complex. Okay, so this is about the difference between primary and secondary valency. based on the postulates aspects of postulate theory. Okay, then regarding to application of Werner's theory, why I said this is the theory which found the foundation, basic foundation for the complexes. Okay, so because it explains the coordination compounds, it predicts the coordination number, it explains the geometry of the complexes, it gives the justification towards the isomerism of the complexes, it will distinguish between the ionizable and non-ionizable ions. Okay, and the application of Werner's theory, actually we can also it can be applied towards the study of the cobalt amine complexes. Okay, so we have the cobalt as a metal center, and we have the ammonia, 6 ammonia within the coordination sphere, and we have the 3 chlorine and acts as a counter ions. Okay, so we have the cobalt amine complexes, so in which chlorine is the counter ion one. Okay, so with the help of the arrangement of the chlorine and ammonia outside and inside of the coordination sphere, how Werner's theory is applicable to determine the geometry, to determine the oxidation state, the that is primary valency and secondary valency can be done for that specifically cobalt amine chlorides. Okay, so primary valency remains same, secondary valency remains same, but only change is that the satisfaction of the primary valency and secondary valency by the number of respective ions. Okay, so that differentiation of the cobalt amino chlorides is successfully done with the help of Werner's theory. Okay, and it is the important theoretical aspects regarding to theory exams and other one. So this is about the application of Werner's theory. Why Werner's theory is important. Okay, so with this we will stop here. And in this session, we have covered the important theory, that is Werner's theory, their importance, postulates, difference between primary and secondary balance. Okay, thank you.